missing.
Almost no chance of that shot.
He could have gone with the basketball instead of 4.
And here's Freak. He's got 9. Here's Towns. It's rebounded by...
Not able to find here in the second. He's off stride and off track just a bit after that one he had earlier.
1 year out from the big Kevin Love for Andrew Wiggins trade, and you have to think that the Wolves are pleased. Timberwolves trail by 4. It's stolen by Calderon. Oh, and here comes Calderon all alone. And he bucket.
Well, they weren't going to pass up that.
Corners here in the second quarter so far. And that one's good. Freak.
What a job he's doing here. I mean, his second.
And I think that is a key part. Wiggins was so much better than anyone expected as a rookie. People figured it would take him several years to develop, but he was the most NBA-ready player of the class, and I think that caught a lot of people off guard.
Here's Samuel, and it comes off the front of the rim. The Knicks leading by 4. Anthony drives in, and so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
And right before Carmelo went down with the injury last season, it seemed like he had added the fadeaway to his game, molded a little bit after Dirk Nowitzki.
The first one falls. Carmelo's reasoning was that he had been burned enough by Dirk's fadeaway, he had to adapt.
Yeah, that's a great fadeaway to borrow from, for sure. I mean, Melo already has a mid-range game, terrific mid-range game, and this shot makes that even deadly.
Wiggins is checked in for Tayshaun Prince. Some of the great passing small forwards in the NBA on your screen right now. These are the assist leaders at that position in the past month. 5th, Carmelo Anthony.
And these are some of the best teammates you're ever going to want. Very unselfish players at a position where you don't see a lot of offensive facilitating.
Yeah, you know, these guys are really more than capable of going it alone if the situation calls for it, but they much prefer to have everybody involved in the offense, and they go out of their way to try to make that happen.
Thomas checked in for Anthony. Williams with a clean look. That falls. Nice speed this time from Jose Calderon. Here's Freak. He's got 11. To the wing on the left. Begovic with a screen. And a wide open look here for Wiggins. The Timberwolves again can't hit. Upside Thomas. Unloads from 9. Calderon, no good.
They really depend on him to convert those chances. A lot of times, even with solid D draped on him, they expect him to make it.
That one's in there. The Knicks lead is cut down to just 6 points with the basket from Muhammad.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with the way they work down low.
It's becoming a theme in this game, Clark. They are piling up the points in the paint.
And he gets it to go.
Yeah, after a first quarter where they struggled from long range, they really started to get it closer to the basket.
Yeah, and that's a nice adjustment on their part, Greg. Even for the best three-point shooting teams, sometimes you've got to do a little something different to get your offense going.
Calderon with it. A follow goes in and stolen by Wiggins. Can't hit. And so we conclude the first half. Knicks out front, leading by 6. And a chance.
You guys had the lead after the first, but now find yourselves behind. What's the mindset of this team heading into the break?
All right, listen closely, man. I've got a few things to touch on. We're going to turn this from a close game into...
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters. Cousins checked in for New York. The Timberwolves also changing it up. Nikola Begovic is checked in for Garnett. Shabazz Muhammad comes in for Andrew Wiggins, and Freak subbed in for Ricky Rubio. Tony Roten out there with Calderon. Then there's Robin Lopez. Then it's Anthony, and it's Porzingis in at the 4 slot. That's the 5 for New York right now.
And that's the kind of move that will always pay off, even against tight defense like he was facing on that possession.
Anthony on the wing. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. Anthony's got the lead up to 9 now for the Knicks.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they built this lead for themselves here.
Here's Samuel. That 3 off the mark.
You know, not really a significant margin in terms of them rebounding, but a nice you want to leave open out on the perimeter. He is personnel.
And a moment here to check out the stats for Towns. That deterrent around the rim, ranking among the top 15 league-wide in blocks per game.
And, you know, back to his phenomenal efficiency from 3. His consistent shooting creates a lot of openings in the defense.
Catching up on the changes for New York. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Lopez. Derek Williams comes in for Porzingis. And it's Lance Thomas in for Carmelo Anthony. Pass it to O'Quinn from about 16. And again, it's New York.
An open jump shot there, and their D not putting up any resistance today.
Here's Samuel, and he makes it look easy, dunking it hard with one hand.
And you can tell he's hungry, because that's how you eat away at a lead right there. Make some highlight reel plays and shake that defense up.
Well, Greg, you're right. Not all 2 points are the same. Not when they come on a stuff like that one.
Well, I like the craftiness in his game. I mean, he can distribute or he can attack. the basket, just like we saw right there.
And that is good. O'Quinn's got 4 this quarter.
His hard work on the backboard really just has given them more opportunities to score.
Freak dishes to Towns. And Muhammad kicks to Freak. Lets it go from deep. It's rebounded by New York. This their first chance to take a look at the Timberwolves this season.
Yeah, a pair of losses for them in their meetings last season. And the cold, hard truth about it, they just had a hard time beating anybody last year.
You know, Greg, those were games where you thought they could get a win. But now they need to forget about it. It's in the past, let it go, and they've got to focus on the present and try to make a better run of it this time. Well, they need those kinds of plays right now. I mean, smart defense generating some offense.
And really, Clark, that's the way you get yourself back into the game. Key stops and then try to get out in transition for some easy ones.
Kicks it to Levine. Soft touch off the glass. Levine's got 6.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here. You can really see that his confidence is at a high level here in this half. He didn't have a 3 in the first.
In last season, the Wolves had the hardest strength of schedule in the entire league. Might have worked out for them in the end, as come lottery time, those extra losses do tend to help.
There's a screen. Roten the pass to O'Quinn. And misses it off the right side of the rim. Timberwolves trail by 8. And here's the fast break. Here's Samuel. And another 3 for Minnesota.
As long as they keep spraying them from deep, we're going to have our... ourselves one exciting finish.
Yeah, it took them a while, but now they're starting to get into a flow from outside. And boy, is that time.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Knicks City Dancers.
Find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, I was able to listen in on the Timberwolves head coach talking to his team. He said their plan was run their offense through Freak. Coach reminded his guys that he is the centerpiece of their offense, and he's the one they want with the most freedom to operate. There's still plenty of basketball left to play, and as we watch how these adjustments play out, Kev, it'll be interesting.
All right, Doris. Thomas kicks to Williams. Some nice passing by New York here. 5 to shoot. Calderon has the open look. And he's good on the 3-ball. Calderon's got 6 here in this quarter.
And they've got to talk to each other on D there. Miscommunication, and now he's able to make a pay.
The Knicks leading by 8. Roten dishes to Calderon. He kicks it to Roten. Picked by Williams. Roten the pass to Williams. Rebound, Minnesota. Towns has got his 8th rebound here tonight. Timberwolves trail by 8. Here's Freak. 25 points in the game. Levine kicks to Freak. And stolen by Thomas. Now Roten. We've got 1:28 left in the third quarter. Offensive rebound, Williams. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Williams.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
Freak dishes to Pekovic. Misses in close.
No one to blame on that one but himself. You get looks like that, you've got to take advantage.
And the foul called on Freak. The Knicks making the switch here. Aflalo's checked in, and a change for the Timberwolves. Wiggins is checked in. And let's step back for a second to look at the top shooting point guards in basketball this season. Freak, #1.
And he's been even more accurate with his shooting than he's been with his passing. Just a terrific percentage from the field.
And, Greg, this isn't a power forward we're talking about. I mean, this is a point guard. He's knocking down shots from 20 feet like they were layups.
There's the screen. O'Quinn, the pass to Roten. That's short off the rim. Timberwolves trail by 8. And Muhammad kicks to Pekovic. Here's Samuel. And once again off the mark by Minnesota. The Knicks shooting right around 46% from the floor in the third quarter.
How about the game for Aflalo? He has 12 points. He's done a little bit of work behind the arc. He's got a pair of three-pointers.
And you know what? The defenders have that in the back of their minds now. They'll be on him a little tighter.
Knicks last season had a lot of problems here in Manhattan, and it showed all over the floor, Greg. And you played for this team. You know what it's like to play basketball in New York. Not a good record for them at home last year.
How about finishing 10-31 here and playing in front of a sold-out crowd every night? And one thing about New York, they're going to let you know when they're displeased. Worst home record in the East and second worst home record in the league.
And that one's good. Freak.
This quarter has brought out the best in them, fellas. Even though they're still trailing, he's been impossible to contain.
Now here's Roten. He's got 15. Puts up a 3. Wiggins with the rebound.
Move it! Move it!
And here's Freak. And no good trying to get that one. And we've reached the end of the third. Knicks lead by 8. Hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The fourth quarter of play should begin momentarily. Timberwolves trail by 8. A moment now to reset the lineups. Brought to us by Gatorade. All fueled up here for the fourth quarter. On the court for Minnesota, Samuel in a 2-guard. Andrew Wiggins is out there with Garnett. Then it's Ricky Rubio. And it's Pekovic in at the center position. And guys, KG is so loved and has given so much to the area of Minneapolis, St. Paul, the state of Minnesota. He really, Clark, views it as his home.
And Kevin, you started with him there in Minnesota
Yes.
when he got underway in the league. Fans love having him there and involved with the franchise again for sure.
And such a steady hand. I mean, he's one of those guys that's really allowed them to take the lead.
Well, he's just so reliable and dependable and consistent, especially here today. I mean, his shooting percentage is off the charts.
But on that shot, with that, the Knick lead is cut down to 7 points thanks to the hoop from Pekovic. New York shooting 47%, pretty solid.
And, you know, for Garnett, after his playing days are over, I got to believe he's going to be looking to take some ownership in this Wolves organization. He is a beloved figure here in Minneapolis.
He got right to the cup using that screen. And the Knicks lead by 9.
Carmelo Anthony showing you his passing skill there.
Wiggins left side. Garnett the screen. Now here's Freak. He's guarded by a Flalo. They blow the whistle just as he gets it off. That's 2 points with a chance for another one at the stripe. Porzingis, and so he's picked up his final foul, and he will sit for the rest of this game. Derek Williams checked in for Porzingis.
And if KG did become a shareholder in the Wolves, it would be wild. I mean, could you imagine how intimidating contract negotiations would be with him sitting across the table?
Count the bucket.
How about the way he's able to angle his body to shield the big fella off and still get the finish?
You've got to be clever with your sleight of hand when you get inside and try to finish against the bigger guys. And he made it look easy that time.
Here's Samuel. Hits it from three-point range. Freak's got 33.
He has definitely shown up to play. He's done his part, really just trying to battle his team back into it.
And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the strike for 2. Well, nobody said, Greg, being in the NBA was for the faint of heart. The Knicks in a few short years have gone from a playoff. And for the Knicks, Kyle O'Quinn comes in for Robin Lopez. And it's Lance Thomas in for Aaron Aflalo. And then for Minnesota, Towns comes in for Nikola Pekovic. And Freak subbed in for Ricky Rubio.
You know, the Knicks made the playoffs every season between 1988 and 2001. It's kind of strange now to see the Knicks struggle to get into the playoffs so often. Only 3 trips in the playoffs the last 10 seasons.
And an intentional foul right there.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
Yeah, yeah, completely a brain fade. I don't know where that came from. Just lost sense of time and the situation.
Robin Lopez is checked in for New York. Flalo comes in for Derek Williams.
And listen, the pressure is always on the Knicks to make the playoffs just because of where the team is. Being in New York can have its advantages, but it comes with expectations that your team will be in the postseason.
Now here's Roten. Defense right on him. And now Minnesota on the fast break. Here's Samuel. That falls. Nice feed that time from Wiggins. That's 36 points for Freak.
And when he gets it going, this is what can happen. They need to think about the double team now.
And he gets the bucket. 20 points for Roten.
I like the fact that he led his teammate right to the ideal spot. You don't always throw it to your teammate. You throw it to where he needs to be.
Wiggins kicks to Freak. Garnett the screen. Timberwolves passing it around. To the left wing. Here's Levine. And another 3 for Minnesota.
You know, he's going to continue to bury those if that's how they're going to D him up.
Pass to Anthony. Aflalo outside. He dishes it to Roten. Feeds it to Thomas. Lopez a screen on Garnett. Thomas passes to Aflalo. Good for his 8th field goal. He's attempted a dozen shots.
The defense not putting up any fight on the inside. They've allowed 10 straight points in the paint.
That's not the kind of streak you want to be part of defensively. Tighten it up, fellas.
Loading with it. It's Carmelo Anthony on the wing. Kick out to Aflalo. Plenty of space. The shot, no good. And Minnesota now the other way. 1:35 left in the fourth quarter.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
In a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for the Knicks.
They've knocked down plenty of mid-range jumpers in this one. That's been big for them.
And also, guys, they take a lot of pride in their ability to rebound the basketball, especially on the offensive end.
Jose Calderon, who's checked in for New York. Looking at the last game for the Minnesota Timberwolves, it was a win against Denver in the finals. So no problem for New York as they get the win. A confident win. And
Jose, obviously the offense was fair.
The 2K Sports post-game show.